Right now in Good Morning America First Look, a week of protests now planned as Congress returns from summer break. President Trump promising an announcement in the Oval Office today after crowds across the country protest his economic and immigration policies and his threat to send the National Guard into more cities.
A shark attack off the East Coast leaves a boy in severe condition, while alerts are issued in multiple states for dangerous rip currents. Hundreds of rescues being reported.
Chaos at the CDC. Former leaders of the agency speaking out, claiming RFK Jr. is putting Americans' lives at risk. What President Trump is now asking drug makers to do to prove their COVID vaccines are effective.
Plus, yet another corporate CEO is fired over a relationship at work.
What we're learning about the young boy shot in the back and killed after a door-knocking prank.
We hear from the hero who rescued this boy. Lost in balancing high above a theme park on a monorail.
Bill Belichick's college coaching debut turns into a nightmare. Several celebrities and his 24-year-old girlfriend in the crowd.
And later, what brought The Rock to tears at the Venice Film Festival.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America First Look.
Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Thank you for waking up with us. I'm Morgan Norwood.
And I'm Ike Ejiochi in for Andrew. We're going to begin with a week of protests planned in Washington as Congress returns from its summer break.
Yeah, President Trump will speak from the Oval Office today. The White House saying he will make an announcement. No word yet on what the president will discuss, but it does come as protest against his policies escalate across the country.
Protesters taking to the streets on Labor Day from Auburn, Maine to Newport, Tennessee. St. Joseph, Michigan to Ventura, California, railing against President Trump and other billionaires who they claim are taking power away from the working class.
Hey, hey, ho, ho! Ice ages have got to go!
In the nation's capital, protesters angry over Trump's takeover of law enforcement in D.C., announcing a week of demonstrations on Capitol Hill this week as lawmakers return from summer recess.
We call not only on community leaders, but our elected officials to stand with us as we continue to fight to protect home rule.
D.C.'s mayor struggling to walk a political tightrope, initially welcoming federal law enforcement, but later saying the involvement of immigration agents went too far, criticizing the use by some agents of masks to hide their identities. But Trump praising D.C.'s mayor yesterday, saying, wow, Mayor Muriel Bowser of D.C. has become very popular because she worked with me and my great people in bringing crime down to virtually nothing in D.C. The Trump administration says among the recent arrests in D.C. is a suspected MS-13 gang member in the country illegally.
No troops in Chicago! No troops in Chicago!
In Chicago, demonstrators condemning Trump's threat to launch an immigration crackdown in the Windy City as soon as this week.
We're going to defend our democracy in the city of Chicago. We're going to protect the humanity of every single person in the city of Chicago.
The mayor threatening legal action and signing an order barring Chicago police from helping federal authorities with immigration enforcement. In the meantime, new data shows the administration's immigration crackdown is reshaping the U.S. labor force. More than 1.2 million immigrants have vanished from the workforce since January. Immigrants make up nearly 1 in 5 U.S. workers, including nearly half of all farm workers and 1/3 of construction workers. Farm advocates say crops have been left to rot, and contractors say they're now struggling to fill crews at job sites.
Now, union leaders warn that the impact goes far beyond farms and construction sites, pointing to hospitals and nursing homes, where immigrants also make up a large share of the workforce.
3 people, including a child, are hospitalized in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, after police say a woman drove her vehicle into a festival. The driver of the red van is in custody, and authorities want to know if the woman intentionally drove into the barricaded area. A 6-year-old is reportedly in critical condition.
Well, dangerous rip currents are churning on both coasts, putting thousands of people flocking to the beach on high alert. Rip current warnings span at least 7 states, including Florida and California. Lifeguards in Los Angeles County say they've carried out more than 500 rescues since Friday. And in Florida, a helicopter flew an 8-year-old boy to a Miami hospital after he was bitten by a shark while snorkeling off of Key Largo. Police say he was bitten above the knee. Tourniquets were used to stop that bleeding. His condition is being described as severe.
Now to the chaos at the CDC. Several former leaders of the agency speaking out, claiming Health Secretary Robert Kennedy is putting Americans' lives at risk with his vaccine policy changes. And now President Trump is weighing in. ABC's Christian Cordero has the details. Christian, good morning.
Ike, good morning. Secretary Kennedy is set to testify before a Senate committee Thursday when he will likely face questions about his leadership and those concerns raised by former CDC officials.
This morning, growing concern at the CDC. 9 former directors of the agency are now speaking out, accusing Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. of endangering the health of every American.
We have grave concerns that the Secretary of Health is endangering the health of people across our nation by not letting the agency do its job.
The former CDC directors, who served both Republican and Democratic administrations, wrote in a New York Times op-ed that Kennedy has, quote, severely weakened programs designed to protect Americans from cancer, heart attacks, strokes, lead poisoning, injury, violence, and more. They argue Kennedy, a vaccine skeptic, has focused on unproven treatments while downplaying vaccines during the worst measles outbreak in a generation. The op-ed comes days after the ousting of CDC Director Susan Menares, who reportedly disagreed with Kennedy on vaccine policy. 4 other top officials resigned in protest.
We saw the loss last week of critical leaders of the agency, individuals who were responsible for developing vaccine recommendations.
As COVID cases rise, the FDA has scaled back vaccine approval to only seniors and people with high-risk conditions. Kennedy has claimed there's widespread corruption within the CDC, and he accuses the agency of spreading misinformation during the pandemic, saying it was wrong on issues from masks and testing to school closures. Now, President Trump is calling on pharmaceutical companies to justify the success of their COVID vaccines, writing, many people think they are a miracle that saved millions of lives. Others disagree. Trump claims the drug makers have withheld their results from the public and says it's time they, quote, clear up this mess one way or the other.
Now, as for that op-ed from the former CDC directors, neither Kennedy nor the White House responded to our request for comment. Morgan?
All right, Christian, thank you. Well, overseas now, a show of unity by Russia, China, and India. Vladimir Putin, President Xi, and Prime Minister Modi laughing and holding hands at a security summit in China with some of the world's most powerful nations not aligned with the U.S. As ABC's Ian Pannell reports, those leaders are sending a clear message to President Trump as they face off with the U.S. over sanctions and tariffs.
President Xi Jinping and Putin have long pushed this idea of a multipolar world, challenging US domination. This summit is further sign that despite their many differences, those who've been targeted by Trump are now looking elsewhere for friendship, alliances and trade.
Modi and Putin also rode together in a car one day after Modi and Xi pledged to be partners, not rivals.
And a race is underway to rescue survivors of a devastating earthquake in eastern Afghanistan. More than 1,100 people were killed and nearly 3,000 are injured. Taliban officials say they need food, clean water, and field hospitals as they work to reach remote villages.
Well, a new step today in the search for answers in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Today, members of a congressional committee, both Republicans and Democrats, are meeting with some of Epstein's sexual abuse victims. Those victims set to appear for a news conference tomorrow, pushing for the release of the Epstein files.
And it's back to school today for many kids across the country, and in many schools, something will be different this year. And that means no phones in class. At least 31 states now restrict the use of phones in schools. And teachers report student participation actually goes up and anxiety goes down when phones are banned.
All right, well, it has been a dry end of the summer for parts of the Northeast. This dust devil was spinning through a farm in western Massachusetts. Dust devils form when the sun heats the ground, sending air rising. Now let's check your Tuesday forecast.
Good morning. The big weather story today continues to be the western heat. We're talking about heat advisories from LA all the way up to Sacramento. Temperatures right around the century mark in a place like Fresno. Even extreme heat warnings in effect parts of Oregon and Washington. And that heat in the Pacific Northwest will continue through much of the week. It'll subside a little bit in places like LA by Thursday. Speaking of subsiding temperatures, yeah, it'll be seasonably warm today, Minneapolis and Chicago. But look, by Thursday, it'll feel like the middle of October, with a cool shot moving in. Meteorologist Jeff Smith, ABC News.
Coming up, another corporate CEO is fired for an inappropriate relationship.
Also ahead, we hear from the hero who rescued this boy lost and balancing high above a theme park on a monorail.
And later, the Powerball jackpot grows even bigger. Back now with 4 people sitting on their capsized boat in the Atlantic. A Miami-Dade fire rescue boat arrived and the boaters jumped into the water before getting on board. No word yet why the boat capsized.
The chief executive at Nestle is the latest CEO to be fired over allegations of a relationship on the job. The Swiss food giant says it dismissed Lauren Frex after an investigation into an undisclosed romantic relationship with a direct subordinate. Now, back in July, the CEO of the tech firm Astronomer resigned after being caught here on a kiss cam at a concert, embracing the company's HR chief. And in May, the CEO of Kohl's was fired, accused of pushing for deals with the vendor with whom he had a personal relationship.
We turn now to the hero at Hershey Park. We're hearing from the man who rescued a boy lost and previously bouncing high above the theme park on the monorail. This morning, the man being called the Hersheypark Hero is describing how he rescued this lost little boy on the park's monorail.
Go that way! Everybody was like, oh my God, there's a kid up there. There's a kid up there.
Officials at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania say the boy managed to enter a section of the monorail through a secure area that was chained and barricaded. The monorail was not running at the time, horrified bystanders looking on.
Stop!
That's when John Sampson ran to the roof of a concession stand hoping it could get him close to the monorail.
This kid is walking on the monorail, and obviously panic kind of sits in a little bit. When you have that kind of dad instinct, it doesn't matter if it's your kid or not, it's a child. You want to make sure they're safe as possible.
John, a father of 3 on vacation at the park, jumping onto the track despite his fear of heights.
It didn't bother me up there because it was just concentrating on one thing, and I didn't hesitate on any of it.
In just a few seconds, the frightened boy was in his arms, the crowd cheering him on.
When I finally got him in my arms, honestly, there was no words. I was just mumbling, I'm so happy, I got you, you're okay. And then it was okay, now how do I get down from here? And luckily, another gentleman was waiting there for me and he helped me out.
The boy's parents, grateful.
They contacted me and then we had a nice conversation. Obviously, super, super happy to hear that he's back with his parents. And then I got a nice thank you as well from the son, so that was nice.
Now, John says it's a reminder that we should all be looking out for one another.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Well, coming up, addressing the housing crisis, what President Trump may do to lower prices.
Also ahead, what we're learning about the young boy shot in the back and killed after a door-knocking prank.
My father and I, we both hopped out of our car to go run towards the car that crashed. We saw that there was a gentleman in there that needed our help. Without thinking, we just reacted.
That's West Point cadet Larry Pickett, who pulled a man from that burning car in New York just before the car burst into flames. Now, the 20-year-old who plays for the Army football team says he and his dad just reacted without thinking.
Help others when you can. Being in the right mindset and being ready to help when you can is a great thing.
He says it's all a blur, but he's grateful they got the man out.
Well, now to Texas, where a door-knocking prank turned deadly for a boy who police say was shot in the back.
Police in Houston say the 11-year-old victim was playing ding-dong ditch with friends when around 11:30 p.m. Saturday, they rang the doorbell of this house and ran off.
Shooting just occurred for a little boy that was shot.
Police say a witness saw a man run out with a handgun, firing 2 to 3 shots, hitting the boy in the back.
I think they were able to run for about a block before he lost consciousness and dropped in the street. I believe he lives a block away.
The boy pronounced dead at the hospital the next day.
That's very, very devastating.
It's an innocent life taken that he could have avoided.
Police detaining a middle-aged man saying they found a significant number of guns in the home. He has not yet been charged.
In my opinion, that doesn't look like any type of self-defense. It wasn't close to the house, so it'll more than likely be a murder charge.
This incident similar to a door-kicking challenge trend on social media. Police in Arizona say this video shows a group of kids participating in the challenge, kicking the front door of a home targeting the location multiple times. Other doorbell pranks have turned deadly. Earlier this year, a Virginia man was charged with fatally shooting a high school senior whose friends said they were playing ding-dong ditch, allegedly kicking in the door. And in 2023, a California man was sentenced to life in prison for killing 3 teens, ramming them down with his car after they rang his doorbell and tried to run away.
And several police departments across the country are warning teens against carrying out these types of pranks.
The Trump administration is previewing a new effort to bring down housing costs. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says all things are on the table, including possibly declaring a housing emergency to address rising prices. Another option on the table, exempting home construction materials from tariffs.
All right, well, coming up, the CEO saying he's sorry for stealing an autographed hat from a boy at the U.S. Open.
Plus, Bill Belichick's college coaching debut, not exactly what he'd planned.
Welcome back. Time now to check the pulse, and we begin with another Powerball drawing. Still no winner.
Nothing. More than $1.2 billion was at stake last night, but for the 40th consecutive time, no ticket matched all the winning numbers.
So tomorrow night's drawing will be worth at least $1.3 billion.
I like that.
Well, next, Bill Belichick's college coaching debut turned into a nightmare.
Yeah, things didn't go as planned. Belichick's North Carolina Tar Heels getting blown out at home by TCU. The Horned Frogs scoring 41 straight points and winning 48-14.
But look, Michael Jordan, NFL legend Lawrence Taylor were among those in the crowd. So was Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, with former New England Patriot Randy Moss.
And with the NFL season about to kick off, players have voted Eagles running back Saquon Barkley as the league's top player. Josh Allen came in third, and Patrick Mahomes somehow was only fifth. Next, an apology from the CEO who stole an autographed hat from a boy at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, this went viral after becoming the most hated man on the internet. He's hoping to end the story. Here's a video of the millionaire CEO from Poland stealing a Polish player's hat from the boy last week. Days later, he's now finally offering what he says is an unequivocal apology, admitting that he used extremely poor judgment. All right, well, next, Vogue is turning the page.
Yeah, editor Anna Wintour has reportedly named Chloe Malley as her successor. The 39-year-old is the editor of Vogue.com. She's also the daughter of actress Candice Bergen. And finally, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson moved to tears.
Yeah, he's starring in the mixed martial arts biopic, The Smashing Machine, and he broke down crying as the film received a 15-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival. Variety sharing this video. There's also talks of a possible Oscar nod for his portrayal of UFC champion Mark Kerr.
His physical transformation for the role is also making headlines. We'll check the top headlines coming up next.
Checking more top stories, more than 1,000 people have reportedly been killed in a landslide in a remote area of Sudan. It follows days of heavy rain. Officials say an entire village in the Darfur region has been destroyed.
And back in this country, more delays at busy Newark Airport in New Jersey are being blamed on air traffic staffing issues. Just 3 air traffic controllers were on duty during the Labor Day travel rush.
Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani out of the hospital this morning after that car crash in New Hampshire. The crash coming after he helped a woman on the side of the highway. President Trump says he plans to honor Giuliani with the Medal of Freedom, calling him the best mayor in New York history.
Actor Graham Greene has died. The trailblazing actor was nominated for an Oscar for his role in Dances with Wolves, which launched his Hollywood career. He was 73.
Today's weather, rain across much of the southern U.S. from California to Florida, scattered storms in the southeast and the upper Midwest.
And finally, 3 brothers who just finished an epic adventure.
Truly epic. They spoke to Danny New.
An arrival in Australia 139 days in the making. Over the weekend, 3 brothers from Scotland finally completed their 9,000-mile journey, becoming the fastest group to ever row across the Pacific Ocean unsupported.
I think we're half expecting to just wake up suddenly and we'll be still out there in the middle of the ocean.
I spoke with Ewan, Jamie, and Lachlan McLean about 36 hours later, still aboard the same vessel they used when they first rowed out from Peru in April. Of course, though, there were tough moments. For example, just before I spoke with them on day 90 of their trip,
yeah, just watch me off my feet.
The youngest, Lachlan, was swept overboard by a storm with 20-foot waves. Thankfully, he was still attached, and the eldest, Ewan, was able to help him scramble back on board.
If I hadn't been tethered to the boat, I would have been lost at sea, 100%.
More storms then caused a detour for 6 weeks. In fact, the brothers told me they finished all of their dried meals the day before their arrival in Australia.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you so much.
So needless to say, when they finally made it to land and each of their girlfriends showed up with a fresh, steaming pizza.
When you ate the pizza, was that the greatest bite of your life?
It was up there.
However, the McLean brothers say their work is not quite done yet. With this journey, they wanted to raise £1 million for clean water projects in Madagascar, which has been an ongoing mission of theirs for years. After 139 days, their fundraiser sits at almost £900,000, which is over $1 million US. Still,
although we're on land now, we're still going to work hard until we get there.
Guys, their website is themcleanbrothers.com if you want to donate. Up next, they plan to fly back to Scotland and then soon head to Madagascar to check in on their projects, although first they said they really need a massage.
Well, they got the pizza, now they need the massage.
Yeah, they're going to need a lot more than that. Have a great Tuesday, everyone.